Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then welcome to my channel. If you are new to my channel, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I post videos, baby related and family and lifestyle related. I do a lot of vlogging, so if that's something you would like to see, then go ahead and follow this channel. And without further ado, let's get straight into the video. I thought I'd just do a little video about how I lost the baby weight postpartum. My baby is now 15 months old, which means yes, this video is quite late. I have been meaning to do it for a while, but I just haven't got around to it because I've been doing different videos and yeah, I thought it was about time I do this one. The first thing that had a major impact in how I lost the weight after having a baby was my hormones, because I just honestly wasn't hungry. And I've actually heard this a lot from other mothers after they give birth, they just aren't that hungry. And I was breastfeeding, still am breastfeeding, so I had to make sure that I kept my energy levels up and that I did actually eat enough. And I really struggled with this. I think a lot of the time you're just like trying to survive when you first have your baby, especially your first one, because it's like all so new to you and you're like so sleep deprived and stuff like that. So I kind of also forgot to eat a lot of the time, and I'm definitely not recommending this because it's not healthy at all. But there were just times where I would just like for like, I don't know, 6 hours or something, just realize that I had only like eaten a banana or something, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I should really eat something proper. And I think that must have also had like a big impact on losing weight, but it definitely wasn't intentional. Now I've actually written down just to make sure that like I don't forget. But the second thing was also to do with my diet, and I was eating plant-based, still am, and I've spoken about this in previous videos that when you cut out animal products, your saturated fat intake, which is bad fat to eat, is like drastically decreased, and also your metabolism, because you're eating so many more vegetables, like your metabolism works a lot better, as well as like your bowel movements and stuff like are more regular, and it's just like your whole system works better. That I think had a big part to do with losing the weight. So I didn't really have to consciously try and be like, oh my gosh, I have to eat like really healthy, I have to go on a diet or anything like that. It just sort of happened that way, that the weight just like started falling off. The third thing was I did a lot of walking, and at the beginning I actually did start exercising, but it was too soon. So I realized that like I would do these workouts, but I was getting injuries, and I think the reason why was because my abdominal muscles were weak, and like therefore I was injuring my back and my hips were really sore. So I just scrapped that, and I didn't focus on exercising like every day like I would have before. I just incorporated a lot of walking into my like daily activities. But I would do about 10 to 12,000 steps, so that is actually quite a lot. So I was getting daily exercise in, as well as like the benefit of being a stay-at-home mom is that you are at home with your child, so you play around a lot. When your kid wants to play, you end up playing with them. And I did a lot of baby wearing, so I guess I don't know if it really counts as exercise, but you are carrying extra weight, so your muscles and body does have to work a bit harder. That was like an easy way to exercise, just like wear your baby. And for a long time I had to bounce her to sleep, so like I would sit on the ball, and like as I was bouncing on the medicine ball, I would like use my muscles and make sure that I tensed them and stuff. So I guess that was a form of exercise as well. Another hack that I used, well, I guess it's not a hack, but I just made sure that I drank a lot of water. And I was breastfeeding, so I was super thirsty anyway, so I just made sure I always had a water bottle on me and stayed hydrated. Another thing that people told me to do was like buy that, I think I actually like gave it away to someone, but wear that stomach strapper. It's like, I don't know if you guys have seen it, it's like a piece of material with Velcro, and you like Velcro it onto you, and it's supposed to support your stomach so that everything can sort of like contract back into place. but honestly guys, it was so uncomfortable. I didn't use it. I think I wore it once. Someone was like, I'll get it for you, you know, you can wear it, and it was so uncomfortable. I don't know. Let me know if you guys have used it and what your experience was with it, if it actually worked. Because for me, I wore it once and I was like, I'm out. I'm not using this thing anymore. It's so uncomfortable. So that didn't work for me, which is one of the things that a lot of people do use. One thing that I felt was really important in the weight loss journey for me was just appreciating my body and taking away that societal expectation that my body has to bounce back to pre-baby body. Because my body, like as a female who has had a baby, your body goes through so much, and I just started to express the gratitude that I had for my body in terms of growing a child and giving birth to a child and taking care of it and nourishing it. And I almost just had so much more love for my body, and I just stopped focusing on the need to get skinny or lose weight. And without that focus on getting skinny, it's almost just like the weight started to fall off naturally without me actually having to do much. And I also started to meditate before going to bed and doing some yoga in the room before going to sleep, and just listing the things that I was really grateful for in my life, but mostly about what my body had done. And somehow I feel like showing myself that love, my body just started to heal, and I started to become what I wanted to become, if that like makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but that is just something that really, really helped me. I also started going to a chiropractor for the pain that I had mentioned before when I really tried to exercise a lot. And she had just been on one of those continuous development courses where she learned that the uterus actually takes like a minimum of 7 months to get back to its original like size. So when she told me that, it was almost like, why am I expecting my body to just go back to the way it was in say like 2 or 3 months? Because if you guys don't know from before I had a child, I used to exercise a lot. Like every day I did like a minimum of an hour's exercise, and I was really fit. So I had the understanding during pregnancy that like, oh my gosh, my body was just gonna naturally bounce back because I was fit and I was gonna exercise every single day. And then like reality hit me, like having a baby. I was like, that doesn't even matter anymore. What matters is me taking care of my child and taking care of my body so that I could be the best mother for her. And just self-love changed the way that I saw myself so much, in the way that my body reacted to the foods that I was eating. And it also in turn made me want to nourish my body properly and not feed myself junk. So that is something that really, really helped me. One thing that I also just remembered, this is me while I was editing. I thought I would just come back to the same spot to make the video just look a bit more cohesive. But breastfeeding helped me lose the weight so quickly. Like, I even notice now that when Ava goes through a spurt of like being ill and she's constantly drinking because she's not feeling well, so she's not eating as much, that my body weight actually does drop. And I noticed that I'm a lot hungrier. I've actually heard some people say that breastfeeding does the opposite to them. And it could just be because you do get so much more hungry because you have to up your calorie intake, that you eat too much. I don't know. Yeah, she was just sleeping, and she just woke up now, and I thought I'd just add this in. Quack, quack. Oh, you're showing everyone the ducks? You're showing everyone the ducks? Yes, so as I was saying, was that because your body is producing so much milk, you do have to up your calorie intake just to make sure that you don't lose too much weight. I also know of people who are breastfeeding who are losing too much weight because they're just not managing to eat enough, or they don't get the time to eat as much as they should be eating, maybe, to keep that body weight on them to be able to produce that milk, because you do want to have a good milk supply. You want to have a good milk supply, and to be able to have a good milk supply for your child, you do need to eat enough yourself, which, as I said in my first point, was something I did struggle with for like quite a few months. But breastfeeding has helped me lose the weight. So if you are thinking of formula feeding and weight is something that you feel like you are going to struggle with losing, then I guess that's also another positive for you to breastfeed. I did a video where I spoke about some of the benefits of breastfeeding and feeding your baby to sleep, which I will link in the description below. If it is something that you're interested in, then go check that one out too. And those are all the kind of the steps that I took to where I am now, and I am a tiny bit bigger than like what I was pre-baby, but honestly doesn't faze me at all anymore. I'm really happy with the way that I am, and this doesn't mean that all these things are going to necessarily work for you. It's just what worked for my body, and I guess everybody knows their body best, and you know what is going to work for your body, but these are just some tips that could possibly help you if you are postpartum and are thinking of losing the weight. And I just want to tell you, don't stress on having to be skinny, because all that matters is that you are healthy and you are happy and you can take care of your baby. But of course, if getting your body back is something that is going to make you happy, then maybe those are some steps that you can take into losing the weight and just feeling comfortable in your own skin. So with that, I wanted to just end the video here. So good luck to you in getting back to a healthy weight, or just feeling comfortable in your skin, even if it's not getting back to your pre-baby body. However, whatever makes you happy is what you need to do. And I love you guys all the way from South Africa, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.